Hey G Squad, welcome back to episode of Is It Worth It? So today's episode we got this cool down here, and basically what this is one of the newest product for the Anker brand. So for this product in particular, they call it the Anker PowerCore Reserve, and this is under the 5th series, if you can see. So it doesn't have as much of the technology on here in terms of like the GaN technology or like the really powerful charging speed that you guys do get on here in terms of like 100 watts or whatever. The max is on here is 60 watt when you guys do use it, which I'll test out in a second. But the cool thing about this product is the fact that it works as a camping light and it is retractable or foldable. So I'll show you guys that in a second. So one right now is open up to show you guys what the inside looks like and what is actually included. So we're gonna open up the back part here first. So once you guys do open up, the first thing inside we do have the user manual to teach you guys how to set it up and how to use it. And inside we do have the protection layer. So let's do take it out. Once you guys do take it out, right here they do provide the cable. And the cable that's included for you guys, it is a USB-C to USB-C cable that you can use the power to recharge the product. And then right underneath that, we do have the actual product. So you can see the way how the design is actually very cool. And it definitely has a little bit of weight to it. But top part right here, we do have a little handle for it to carry around really easily. And also on top right here, we do have the brand name Anker. Throughout the side right here, we do have the LED light. And like I mentioned, the way how to design this part right here allow you guys to retract it. So let's do pull it out. It can pretty much work as a camping light like that. And once you guys are done using it, or if you guys don't need to use it anymore, just push it back down really easily. And that way it can be more compact. And in the front part right here, you can see we do have the display screen and we do have a bunch of output for input and output. And right here, we do have the different light for you to turn on. So there's like the regular light option, or you do have the SOS light. And they give you guys a solar input for you guys to use like a solar panel to recharge it if you guys do want to. But they do provide guys 2 USB-C option and 2 USB. And they even label on here for one of the USB-C option, you can use it for input and output, where for everything else is the output. You can see right there. And bottom right here, we do have the brand name as well. And on the side right here, they do have like an emergency locator glow strip that should glow in a dark setting, so that way people can see you, which is pretty cool. So the one this side and one other side. And then right here on the bottom, they do have a non-slip material to prevent it from moving around when you guys do use it. I believe on the side of the product is the air vent option to prevent it from overheating when you guys do use it. And that is pretty much everything that's on the product. One thing right now is to turn it on to show you guys how it does work. So let's pop this up. And let's turn it on. Alright, so you can see it's pretty bright when you guys do use it. But it'll probably look a lot better in dark setting, which I'll show you in a second. But you guys can see how when we do turn it on the display screen right here, it'll show you guys the battery percentage. So currently it's around 40%. And they show you guys how much longer for the battery life that's on here, which is around like 35 hours at 40%. And if you guys are curious about how much power is on here, it is 60,000 mAh, which is more than enough for you guys to last you guys for a really long time. And if you guys notice how I should show you guys the input and output that's being used on here as well, which is pretty cool. But if you guys do press on this button again, it gets brighter, and it turns off. So it's pretty much a low and a high setting, and off. If you guys press right here, we do have an SOS light. Press on again, turns off. So that is pretty much how you guys use the light option. And supposedly for the product, it does have an auto mode option on here where actually would turn on automatically when there is a power outage. So that's actually pretty cool how you have the option available as well. And in order for you guys to use the auto mode on here, you do have to have it connected because you need to know when there's no power coming on the product. So if you guys are curious about how to turn on the auto mode, you pretty much want to press this button right here, press and hold it. And it turns on, you can see. So that is how you guys use the auto mode option on here. And like I mentioned, you do want to keep it charged or plugged in the cable to keep it charged when you guys do use auto mode option on here. So keep that in mind. And for the product, it definitely has like the over temperature, overcharge protection or whatever built in, just like any of the other Anker products, which is pretty cool. One right now is the plug-in cable to show you guys how much power it does provide when we do use it. We'll use the USB-C option first. So right here, I do have my Apple cable. So I'm going to plug it into my laptop to see how much power it does provide, because it does mention how it does provide you guys up to 60 watts. So here's the bottom one. So once you guys plug it in, other side one plug it onto my laptop, which is the MacBook Pro 16-inch. So once you guys got it in, let me put this down because it's kind of heavy. If you guys do look at the number that's on here, it shows you guys how much power that's being generated on here when we do use it. So you can see how the number is slowly going up, but it turns off. And the reason why is because the power that's on here is completely dead. But right now it's showing around 14 watts, 15 watts, and slowly going up. Let me open up the laptop, see what happens. Let me turn it on. So the laptop itself is completely dead. So it might take a while for it to even load up. But when you guys do look at the screen that's on here, it definitely shows you guys how much power that's being provided when you guys do use it. So the number is definitely going up, if you can see. And it turns off automatically, and the reason why is because the actual laptop itself is completely dead. So it keeps turning on and turning off. Right now I can see the output went as high as 58 watts. So very close to what I mentioned in terms of 60 watts. Let me see right there. It does show you guys that it's around like 58 watts or 59 watts. So it does provide you guys the max power are very close to it, which is 60 watts, just like what it mentions. But what I'm doing right now is to plug something else on here and see what actually happens when we do use more than one at the same time. So I'm actually go get a USB cable and test it out. Alright, so right here I do have a USB to lightning cable. If you guys do plug it in, once you guys got it plugged in, other side I want to plug it onto my phone. You can see it does work. And when you guys do look at the output on here, it shows you guys the max is 60 watts. So it doesn't go any harder than that. So the max is 60 watts. But if I do unplug the cable for the laptop, let's see what happens. So once you guys unplug it, you can see how the number is slowly going up. And this is currently charging my iPhone. So when it's charging my iPhone, it doesn't provide as much power. It's currently around like 5 watts, 6 watts, and slowly averaging around that range. So depending on what kind of device you guys are using it for, that is how I know how fast it does charge. But they did mention the max power on here when you guys do charge your phone is 27 watts. And right now it's around 8 watts. So it doesn't go that high when we do use it for a phone. But when you guys do charge like your laptop, it does go as high as 60 watts. But when you guys plug in more than one at the same time, the max is 60 watts. It does not go any harder than that. So the power will be split between your laptop and also your other device when you guys do use it. So that's something to keep in mind. But when you guys are charging both devices at the same time, let me plug it in. If you guys do open the top part, the light is still on and it's still charging both devices at the same time at a max speed of 60 watts when we do use it, which is pretty cool. And if you guys were to charge the product at the same time, let's see what happens. So let me actually get my cable right here to plug it in. So if I do plug in the bottom, alright, so we got it plugged in. And when I look at the power that's on here, I can definitely see the number is starting to go up. You can see right there. So you do have the option to charge the device at the same time while charging your other device at the same time and using light, which is pretty cool. And the power that's being provided when you guys do use it is quite high. So right now for input is 56 watts and output is around 15 watts. But it should go higher as we are charging our laptop. But you definitely have the option to multitask on here to charge your device and charge the actual product at the same time and use the light as emergency light, which is pretty cool. So the product definitely does work when we do use it. What I'm doing right now is to bring it over another room to show you guys how bright it does work when you guys do use it. Because right here is kind of hard. And it will come back and talk more product in a second. Alright, so here is what the product looks like in the bright setting. And we see how we do have it on auto mode. And we do have it fully charged to 100%. So if I do turn off the light, this actually looks like without the light on. But if you do turn on the light, you can see how it's actually very bright when you guys do turn it on. And this is only on the low setting. If I do press it one more time, this actually looks like on high setting. So you see how it actually gives you guys a really good coverage on here when you guys do turn it on. So that way you can brighten up your room or your space when you guys do use it, which is really cool, especially when you guys are going camping. If I do turn it off, you can see the difference it makes when you guys do turn it on. So this actually looks like with it off. If you guys do turn on the SOS mode, this actually looks like with the SOS mode. So very bright when you guys do use the light option to use it as a camping light if you guys do want to. Especially when you guys do it in low setting, it's actually very bright and ready. But when you guys turn it on high, it's way brighter, you can see. And I love how I actually tell you guys how long the battery life on here will last when you guys do turn it on, which is 45 hours. When you guys turn on the highest level on here for the brightness level. Welcome back, guys. So now I saw a quick test of product and definitely actually does work and actually works quite well. And you see how bright the light is when you guys do use it, which is really cool, especially when you guys are using it as emergency light or when you guys are using it for when you guys are camping. And because of how powerful and how big the battery capacity that's on here, it will last you guys a quite long time. They mentioned how it can give you guys almost 3 full charge for a MacBook Air and also give you guys around 42 hours of battery life on here when you guys use a flashlight option or the camping light option, which is perfect if you guys do use it when you guys are camping. But very cool to give you guys so many different options available for you guys to use in terms of the light option, the charging option, and so much more. But that is everything that's on the product. Now to unboxing and testing product. Now to answer the question of whether or not it's worth it or not. So for this product, I do have to say that it is pretty worth it. If you guys want one of these, especially if you guys are in the market looking for a high quality camping light that also give you guys the option to use it as an emergency light and also the charging option that's on here as well, then I do have to say that it is pretty worth it. But then obviously for those of you guys who don't want or don't need one or haven't want these, then obviously don't buy one and save your money on something else actually do need. So that's basically everything for this video itself. If you guys like this video, make sure to smash that like button in the bottom. That will definitely help this video out, and it'll definitely help with the algorithm as well to promote more videos for you guys so you guys can see more of the videos or similar videos as well. But as always, make sure to stay positive, be you, and I'll see you guys in the next episode of Is It Worth It? Peace.